Hello everyone, welcome back to Lee Plays. Today we're in DCS World and we're going to be flying the amazing F14 Tomcat by Heatblur. And as you can see, we are on the supercarrier. More precisely, the USS George Washington. And the plan for today's sortie is we are going to start the F14 from cold and dark. We're then going to taxi out to either Cat 1 or Cat 2 using the deck crew for guidance and to help us launch. We're going to then launch off the carrier, case 1 departure, and that'll be it for this video. So without further ado, let's get inside the cockpit and start this amazing aircraft up. So I'm just going to turn on track IR just so I can see, recenter track IR. Okay, so before we start, the F14 is pretty new for me. I've had it for a while but I've not really used it. So I've been practicing starting, been practicing kind of the normal flying, so taking off, landing, both on shore and carrier, and kind of the navigation stuff. All the weapon stuff I've not really learnt yet, and obviously that is a massive part of the F14. So the next coming weeks I will learn the weapons and I'll bring you more videos with those weapons. Okay, so first thing we need to do in the F14 is speak to the ground crew. We need to request electrical power, and we also need to request some air supply. So we can see the ground power is connected because we have some indicator lights coming on. Once the air supply is connected, which it is now, we can ask Jester to start his bits in the back. We will arm the ejector seat.
ITS com check.
Com check. Yeah, he's loud and clear, so we'll tell him.
Alright.
Just like that. And that is one amazing thing with the F14 is Jester. I thought when the F14 got kind of announced, I thought that Jester in the back would be not very good and kind of a gimmick. However, it's far from that. I've not done any combat with him yet. However, in the normal kind of flying stuff, he's brilliant. And some of the comments he gives you are funny. But anyway,
ready to start.
So he's ready to start, so let's just make sure we are. So let's just move forward a little bit. We're going to turn the oxygen to on. We're going to come to the right hand side. We are going to make sure the air source is off, which it is. The hydraulic transfer pump, we're going to put the shut off. And then just under here, we're going to make sure the emergency flight hydraulics are all to low, which they are. Finally, mass gens both to normal, and we can turn on the application lamp. So with that done, we can come across the left hand panel, click on the right starter, and then we're just looking at these engine instruments here. So we're going to look for the RPM gauge to get to about 20%. We have some oil pressure, which is always good. So about there, we're going to introduce the fuel by moving the throttle handle. Okay, and the RPM is starting to rise, which is good to see. The oil pressure is still rising, but still fine. This is the nozzle position. We have TIT, which is what is TIT? Let me think. Turbine inlet temperature, which I think is pretty similar to exhaust gas temperature, maybe. However, that's all fine at the moment, and we do now have some fuel flow. So we're just going to wait for this engine to start. Make sure there's no one around. So with that, we've got a good engine start on the right. So now we'll do this exactly the same on the left. So start switch to the left. Check nav gauges again. RPM starting to rise. Wait for 20%. About there. So we can introduce some fuel. Again, checking oil pressure. TIT is rising. And we have some fuel flow. Okay, so we'll just wait for that to start. Once both engines start, it's probably here now. Jester will start clicking some buttons and he'll start doing his bits and bobs. We are going to get rid of the stick quickly just so we can see the displays a little bit better. Have a little look around. One cool thing is being able to look behind you and just seeing Jester, which is pretty cool. And he's something totally different in DCS world, having a guy in the back doing the stuff for you. Okay, so with that we can go to Jester and we can ask him to go to
Roger that.
fine on the INS, so he'll start getting that running for us. In the meantime, we will turn on, first of all we'll put the hydraulic transfer pump back to normal. That's all good. Air source can go to both engines, and we can now switch off, not that one, we can switch off ground electric power can come off, and the ground air supply can come off. With that, we'll turn on the VDI, the HUD and the HSD. They're all coming on, brilliant. That's all good. Come across the left hand side, we can turn the radio to both. We'll make sure the TACAN's on, 73 X-ray, which is the TACAN frequency for the carrier. Let's turn it on. And then here we have who's basically got primacy or command of the TACAN. So with this button you can have pilot or the NFO, which is the guy in the back. But for now we'll keep it at pilot. And then we'll look ahead, we will get that going. Make sure the gun rate is low. SW cool is off, missile prep is off. Ask him just turn on the RWR for us. And if we put this HSD mode to the TID, this is basically a repeat of what he's got in the back, and we'll be able to see at the moment. You can see he's putting in all the stuff for the INS. So he puts in the coordinates and the elevation, and then once he's done that, as you can see, he's put in the longitude there. Once he's done that, then we will see this bar come up, and we'll see this arrow kind of move across to show where we are in the alignment phase. We got a few more things to do our side. We'll put the AFC yaw, roll and pitch to on, and that is it for our side. It's now literally just a case of waiting for our mate in the back. Okay, so I think the INS alignment is now finished. So we're just going to prepare for taxi. We're going to keep the wings swept back, just purely because on the carrier there's not much space. Here we're quite lucky that there's not actually many people here, but just as a habit, we'll just keep the wings swept back while we taxi out. We're going to come down and make sure that the anti-skin spoil brake are off, which they are, and that is all good. We just need to ask Jester to set the data link for us, so we're going to go across to data link. We're going to go set the mode, and we want the tactical data system, so he's going to switch that on for us, and then we're just going to finally tell him who we want to use as the host. And because I'm probably going to come straight back later and do a case one, we're going to use the George Washington as our data link host. So we are now ready for taxi. We can just set our lights, make sure the lights are happy with. So we're just going to put them on flash, like that, bright and bright for both of those. That's all good. And yeah, I think we're good for taxi. So let's first of all put the nose wheel steering on, and you'll see that little light appear there, just saying nose wheel engaged. We can release the brakes. Just check there's no one else taxiing, which is not, and I think, like I say, we'll go around to cap 1. So add a bit of power to get us moving, just like that, and then we're going to come around to the right. The turning circuit in the F14 is excellent, so it's quite easy to move on the carrier. So we're just going to wait until this guy with the yellow vest starts giving us directions, which he hopefully will soon. Here he comes. Yep, so we're going to go straight ahead, just follow his marshalling now. While we're doing that, we're just going to put the wing sweep back to forwards, put the brakes on. Lucky I checked them, so we just shot it right into him. So the wings should be coming out. We just need to put that in the air like so. Then we're going to go auto on the wing sweep. auto. Flaps can come fully down, which they are. Okay, we just need to get the wing sweep sorted. Okay, we're going to go that down. There we go. Bring that down. Like, doesn't want to go down. Hello? Oh, there we go. So that goes down. We then need to press the master reset button, otherwise the wing sweep won't work. So we're going to go master reset, which we have. We've now got the wing sweep fully forward in auto, which is what we need. Flaps are down, as we can see by this indicator. The next thing we need to do is basically dump all the hydraulic pressure in the nose wheel and kneel the aircraft. So to do that, come down to this switch panel down here, and we're going to press the kneel button. And as you can see, the aircraft starts kneeling like so. He now gets out of the way so we can get connected up. Now we're just going to edge forward as per his instructions. There we go. So we just need to come over the little hump, the little catapult, which is usually needs a lot of power. There we go. So we're going to stop there. Now it's going to transfer to the next guy, and he'll tell you in a minute. So this bit I think we know. I don't think we put the nose back up, we just keep it down. So we're now onto this guy. As you can see, he's giving it the big I am. So that means run him up, and we need to make sure we go to mill power, no more. The engines on the F14 are that powerful that if for whatever reason one of the engines didn't light up the afterburner, then you don't have enough rudder authority to be able to steer the aeroplane. So that way you have to use mill power. Once you're off the carrier, you can then put into afterburner if you want. So let's just run to mill power. Just keeping an eye on the nozzles to make sure the nozzles are not opening. So about there. We're then going to check our controls. So left, right, left, up, down, and just do a wipeout. Happy with that. Let's put the stick back on. Left shift U for the salute. They're all getting down now. He's letting us go. We just wait for the launch. And off we go. So just as we get to the end, we're going to lift up a little bit.
We have a
start turning right.
185, 1 mile, and a friendly. Bra 030, 23 miles.
The altitude down.
Well, we got dirt at 3 o'clock.
Flaps are coming up. There we go, happy with that. We can now start turning back towards the BRC.
Looks like nails 7 o'clock.
Over here, we want to try and keep below 500 feet if we can. So it's going to bring the nose down there. So there we go. level off there, and we'll just follow the BRC all the way out to about 7 miles. Once we get to about 7 miles, then we can climb to our heart's content.
Okay, there's a friendly 185, 3 miles.
So the speed's got away from me a bit there. We're meant to be below about 300, 350. But yeah, it's quite powerful engines on the F14, so it's quite difficult to control the power. However, we are airborne. I'm just going to do a little turn to the right, and we're going to start climbing. So yeah guys, there's the supercarrier and case 1 departure.